Welcome to the call, everybody. My name is Billy Funk. It is 11 o'clock here in Chicago. Welcome to Mindset Your Marketing. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. Hope you're getting ready to get fired up. You're ready to get focused, and you're ready to get free. That's how I love those 3 F's of Friday. Fired up, fearless, and free. We got some special things today to talk about in Mindset Your Marketing. My 2 co-hosts, Lany Sullivan, Shannon Young, and myself, we will be telling you about when. Because we went through already the who, the why, the what, the where, and the how. I think it's only accordingly that we should talk about the when of mindset and the when of marketing here on today's call. So we're excited. I hope you're excited as well, and we'll get this baby started right now. You know, when I think about timing and positioning, I think about how many people have leveraged themselves inside of different companies, you know, with their not just the timing, but the mindset of their timing. And then I also think about the past, the present, the future when I really think about when. And if you look at your past and you treat it literally as a launch pad for you to learn, you know, you'll have a lot of success. And if you treat your future like it's already here, I think you'll have a lot of success. But if you focus on the past, or if you focus purely on the future, I think you're giving your power away. What do I mean by that? Well, the only thing the past can do for you is teach you. If you stay in the past and only talk about the past, you're going backwards. You know, there's a lot of bad things that have happened to a lot of people, a lot of negative results, a lot of failures. And if you continue to go into your past, you're going to actually go backwards in time, and you're also going to go backwards in your mindset, and you're going to go backwards in life. And if you continue to go into the future, if you worry about things, if you focus on things that aren't there yet, you're giving your power away to an event that hasn't even happened yet. That's not going to produce anything awesome. What you want to do is you want to stay here in the moment. You want to stay here in the now. You know, a lot of people call me the extreme networker, and one of the reasons is, outside of networking, is that I love extreme sports. I love rock climbing. I've got a passion for whitewater kayaking, whitewater rafting, mountain biking, slacklining, windsurfing, you name it. One of the reasons I love those sports so much is because it brings me into the now. It brings me into the moment. It forces me into the zone. Because if I'm up on a rock face 150 feet up in the air, and I'm thinking and pissed off at myself about what I did yesterday or what I did the week before, and I'm focused on that, or if I'm worried about what's going to happen tomorrow, if I'm worried about a future event that hasn't happened yet, I could very easily fall off that cliff and die. Same with whitewater kayaking. Same with all those sports that I love. If I don't stay in the now, if I don't stay in that zone, you know, I'm looking at an injury, or even more than that. I could even be looking at death. And why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because, you know, so many different parts of life relate to each other. You know, that actual story can relate to business. It can relate to your mindset. It can relate to your life right now, and it relates to mine. If I continue to focus on the past and get upset with myself about things that I've done, you know, back then, or if I'm worried about events that haven't happened yet, I'm going to get injured in business. I'm gonna fail, and I'm not going to have the results that I'm looking for. So what I want you to know today is that if you stay in that moment of now, your mindset, your life, your business, everything will shift for you. If you really think about it, when is it not now? It's always now. Everything that has ever happened in the past, everything that's happening right now, and everything that's happening in the future is all happening in this endless moment called now. It's never not now. And yet so many of us go back in time and go into the future in time, and we forget about what's around us. We forget about what's in front of us. We forget about where we're at here and now. If you focus on what you can do right now, today, instead of worrying about what you're going to do tomorrow, instead of being upset about what you did yesterday, you're going to have more results in life. You're going to have the results that you've been looking for, because everything that you're looking for in the future can't be accomplished by thinking about that. It can only be accomplished by thinking about what you can do to get towards that right now. And I'd love to bring on my 2 special co-hosts, Lany Sullivan and Shannon Young right now. Shannon, you're out there in Georgia. You've got an incredible mindset, an incredible heart for helping people. You're an absolutely fantastic marketer. What is it about the when of mindset and marketing that gets you excited or gets you to think about, the accomplishments that you've had? Or what can you tell everybody today?
Hi, Billy. Hey, Lany. You know what I think is the most important thing is to celebrate even the smallest things in the now. I mean, you put a Facebook status out and you get X amount of likes. You know what? Celebrate that, because attraction marketing works, right? Celebrate that you have eyeballs on you. You accomplished something that you've never done before. I heard this morning about somebody who wrote her very first blog post yesterday. Those are the things that I think helps to keep your mind positive and to keep you, moving forward for that tomorrow is, don't put off, what you can be doing. Celebrate the little things that happen, those little milestones that happen, because all of those little milestones that happen each day absolutely turn into tomorrow's big successes. And I think that's the very best way to stay positive in the now. And so, each step along the journey leads us to the final destination, right? So I love that you said, Billy, stay in the now, because focus on the now. Focus on the things that are good, the things that are positive, learn from the things that are negative, and just keep moving forward.
I love it. I really do. I think you hit several key points. Focus on the little things. Focus on, what results you've gotten so far, and, bring that into your mindset. I think that one of the things that separates the successful people from the rest is that before they get into, a conference, a business meeting, something that's going to have a huge effect on their business, they bring themselves back to the moment in time where they had results, they had an accomplishment, they had a success, and they take on that mindset, literally assuming that next event is going to be a huge success. And so here's the two ways to incorporate positively the past and the future, is to bring yourself back in time. When was the last time you had a very successful event, a very successful business, a very successful anything in life? Go back to that moment. How did that feel? What was that feeling like? What were your thoughts like? What was the entire environment like? Bring yourself back to that moment, and then come back to the now with that feeling. And then also, in the future, if you really want something bad enough, visualize yourself having it right now. Visualize what it would feel like to have that dream house, to have that availability to go travel and do what you want to do when you want to do it, wherever at in the world that is. Take yourself into that moment of what it would be like to accomplish everything you've ever looked for and dreamed for, and then come back to this moment now like you already have it. I think if you do those two things, those are the two best ways to incorporate. If you're going to focus on the past at all, or even the future, that's how you do it. Lany Sullivan, you're out there rocking and rolling, girl. You got fantastic connections all over the place. I know you've done a lot in the past, and I know you got a huge future ahead of you. What is it about the when of marketing and mindset that gets you fired up?
Well, thanks, Billy, for having me on the call. Good morning, everybody. There's so many things, and I'm going to kick my friend Shannon's butt because she totally stole one of my statements. But I love you, Shannon. But we were chatting beforehand. So anyway, but if not now, when are you going to do it? Everybody puts off tomorrow, like she said. Everybody puts off tomorrow what they can do today. Why are you putting it off? And every single thing that I've done in my past has brought me to the very moment that I am in today. And if you don't realize that, then I highly recommend that you go back and just sit down and reevaluate, and not reevaluate, just evaluate. What have you done in the past? And like Billy said, what are your successes and what are your failures? And I look at failures, and I know Billy does too because I've heard him talk about it. I've never failed. I've learned a lot of lessons, and I've got a lot of life experiences, but I've never truly failed because I've learned all the things that I shouldn't be doing, and I've learned to make better decisions going forward. So if you look at where you're at today, think about all the lessons you've learned, not only your failures. Don't focus on the negative, because a failure is a negative, a lesson learned is a positive. And so you want to switch your mindset from kicking yourself in the butt going, oh my gosh, I failed, to, you know what, I learned some really great lessons, and it's given me the ability to make better decisions going forward. Everything you do today going forward affects your future. So make better decisions. Learn from the lessons in your past. Make better decisions in your present. And you're going to have the reward of that, hopefully the reward of that, in your future. And one thing that I want to really encourage you guys to do, a training that I went through about vision casting essentially is sit down and take your time to do this, and sit down and think about what you would like your life to be like in 5 years. Write down as if you were in the moment 5 years from now, whether it be your birthday, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, whatever. Most people write it in the birthday, on their birthday. Wake up and say, you know what, today's my birthday. Write it in the present tense, what you expect and you want to experience 5 years from now. It'll totally change the direction of your mindset and your business. That's all I got for you, Billy.
No, I love it. I really, really love it. And, one of the things that I've done in the past to make myself more successful, I love positive thoughts. I think if you listen to the last call, you heard me, say take your thoughts and step to them and through them. So before calls like these, before big business events, before a sales meeting, before anything that I'm looking to have success in life, I command the universe to give me the right thoughts, the right feelings, the right words, the right attitude, the right everything before that to impact more people, to help more people. And I say it out loud, and I say it with energy. And I've also done a lot of, before any type of, I've been in sales, marketing, business for 10 years now. So before like a huge one-on-one meeting, a huge business meeting that I've had in the past, I would, on the way there, I would take myself to the last time I got a sale. And I would take that feeling and I would just bring myself there, and I would say to myself, I am an awesome marketer. I am an awesome networker. And I would really feel it. I would keep saying it. People looked at me while I was driving like I was crazy, but I knew in my head if I didn't do that, I might not be in the right mindset to accomplish that victory, to get that sale, to reach my goals. So, it may sound corny and cheesy, but before you're going out there and connecting with people, maybe bring yourself back to a time when you had a lot of success and tell yourself and believe it that you're an awesome person. You're an awesome sales rep. You're an awesome rep. You're an awesome distributor. You're an awesome marketer. You're an awesome networker. You're an awesome entrepreneur. Whatever word or whatever phrase you want to use, incorporate that into your mindset and really feel it. And your future will thank you. We got a couple of people on this call that I think would love to give their 2 bits on this. Shane Calcutt out there, you're rocking and rolling, brother. You see network marketing as your home, and so you've really incorporated this success mindset, pretty early in your marketing career, and I love it, man. I love what you're doing with personal development. What is it about the when? What is it about the past, the present, the future that gets you fired up, brother?
Well, thank you for having me on the call, Billy. It's kind of funny. Everybody, as I'm sitting here listening, everybody so far has spoken exactly what's in my heart and what's on my mind about marketing and mindset and what you have to have in the now. I know one of the things that was brought up earlier, and I do it as well, and I recommend it, is it's like Billy and the others said, to go back to your past successes and feed off of those, and bring yourself into the now, into today, with whatever it is in any part of your business that you're currently working on, whether it be the training part, whether it be the recruiting part, the sponsoring, the closing the sale. When you bring those successes and you feed off those, and you're in the right now, in the when, the today, you can actually push success forward push success to where you need it to be. And so feeding off those past experiences, for example, back when I was in high school, I used to run track, and I would win ribbons and medals and races. And so, like Billy said, right before I get on a call or before I talk to a prospect, I go back and I see myself, those last 100 meters, those, 50 last yards, I push harder and I strive and I run and I cross that finish line, and it's a huge success. I hear, my friends and family and crowd, they're applauding and support, and I bring that, I put that in front of me right now today, and I go and I talk to my prospects. I talk to the next person that sent me a message saying, hey, what do you got? I'm interested. It puts me in the mindset of success and winning, that my whole demeanor changes. And so to bring successes forward to today and use them to propel you to the future, I would recommend doing that because it works and it will take you places that you've never been before.
I love it, Shane. I love it. It's an awesome mindset, man. It's an awesome focus to have. It's an awesome, it's an awesome attitude to really bring to life and to bring to business. When you have that right attitude, everything in your life becomes almost gratitude. And I know you hear me say a lot of rhymes and a lot of different alliteration, and it's because, with wordplay, you have an opportunity to think of things a little bit differently. You have an opportunity to maybe something will stick in your head a little bit longer. You'll focus on something and you'll get something a little bit easier when you rhyme things together and when you use alliteration. Shannon Young, I'd love to bring it back to the two of you, you and Lany. What else can you tell anybody? Can you give anybody a 2-minute marketing tip, either one of you?
Absolutely, and I'll be really quiet. Let me step aside. There's a train coming by. I think the most important thing about your marketing is to just stay focused, right? Stay focused on what you're good at. Stay focused on where you're going. Don't worry about the challenges and the what we deem as failures that come along. Just keep moving and keep grooving. And, as far as a good marketing tip, I think today the one thing that I did is I have recently changed, just like you and Lany, social media platforms, right? I think that's a great marketing tip is to change it up. Don't rely on one source. Don't rely on the same followers on a daily basis. Change it up. Change it over. Get yourself out there. Make sure that everybody knows who you are and what you represent and what your vision and goal is.
Right on. Lany?
Just to go off of what Shannon's saying about, creating new, going into new platforms and creating new relationships, build better relationships and longer relationships by engaging with integrity. And really, truly being who you are. People can see right through you, even on social media. It doesn't matter, you can put all those nice, fluffy stuff, but how you act and react and engage in life, doesn't matter if it's belly to belly or if it's online, people can read right through it. So be true to who you are and who you want to be. If you want to improve, be true to that and work towards being a better person. You should always be working towards being a better person. I'm always learning and growing, and if you're not learning and growing, you're dead. So, we'll bury you. We'll help. We got shovels. No, but seriously, learn, grow, act with integrity. You will have longer, better, lasting relationships in your future.
I love it. I love it. Guys, I think you heard it from Shane, Lany. I think you heard it from Shannon. If you didn't hear it from them or you didn't hear it from me, I think you're going to have to hear it from yourself. But when you're going out there and you're marketing, think about the past as a platform for you to launch into the future with. But if you want results, if you really want to accomplish everything you've ever wanted in life, visualize what you want as it being already here. Take every moment to focus on what you want, but make it like you already have it. Because whatever you want to have in life, you can have it. You just got to move towards it. Whatever you want, it's already there. Move towards it. You can walk towards it. You can crawl towards it. But I say we all hop on planes and we fly towards it. I say we all hop on trains and we cruise towards it. Or let's all hop on some rocket ships and let's just absolutely, rocket to it. So, guys, whoever you are, wherever you're at in life, stay focused, stay fired up, and you'll stay free. Lany Sullivan, Shane Calcutt, Shannon Young, you three rock. So thankful to have you three on the show every Friday, and to have partners like Shannon and Lany is just phenomenal.
Ditto, Billy. We feel the same way.
Got this online money show coming up here in about 37 minutes with David Oldenburg, and if you guys want to know any more information about that, go over to my timeline on Facebook. We're going to be talking about the social media tools that have monetized the best for people in the past.
Hey, if you know the website, why don't you give that now so that we can all make sure that we're there.
OnlineMoneyShow.com, and we're going to be announcing on that show our Mindset Your Marketing online show for next week. So definitely stay tuned. And with that, you guys all have an awesome Friday. Just stay fired up, stay focused, stay free, and we'll see everybody on Monday. And that's all I got. God bless everybody.